Diane here again. This is day 13 of 30 Days, 30 Authors, and I bet you thought I wasn't going to do this today, didn't you? Because I'm later than you expected, but you were wrong. Today the topic is symbols that I use in my stories. I apologize for the terrible light in here, but I'm really not the feature of this episode, as it were. The symbols themselves are, so I'm really not that worried about it. So the challenge today was to illustrate and talk about different symbols that we use in our books or stories or whatever it is that we write. I'm very conscious of the use of symbolism. As a witch, I made a very big study of it in part of my book, The Witch's 8 Paths of Power. So I give a lot of thought to the use of symbolism, what it means to us personally, what it means to the cultures that we come from, and I really think about it. So I thought that this was a really good topic to discuss. So I'm going to go over two symbols today. One is from the Toy Soldier Saga, and one is from the Wyrd West Chronicles. So with that, I'm going to turn the camera around here so you can stop looking at my horrid complexion in this light. Okay, and so my computer is not cooperating, but it put up its screensaver. Okay, so this is a symbol from the Toy Soldier Saga. What this is a tattoo. And it is for the Black Arrow Special Forces unit, which is it's an elven unit that is, they're a Special Forces troop who are especially trained to assassinate orcs. Now, being recruited for this unit, basically you have to have suffered some kind of horrific injury or experience at the hands of the orcs who are theoretically the bad guys. So it's quite the process to get recruited for it. And you also have to be a fairly high level mage. So the people who are part of the unit get this tattoo. And as you can see, it's an orc skull. Notice the tusks, right? The black arrows is the name of the unit, and it symbolizes their connection to the god Hern, who they look to as a god of vengeance in their culture, which isn't entirely accurate. Hern is more of a symbiotic hunter who's more of a forest warder in our culture, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea about him, but there are also some sinister legends around him taking an oath of vengeance upon someone who brought great harm to his wife. So that's what I'm drawing upon for this particular aspect of the story. Right? Now this is when the Toy Soldier Saga was still fan fiction, and this is the Forgotten Realms Elvish, Esperar, and it says, if I can remember, I think it was Sasha Aftelkiet, which means vengeance is mine in Esperar Elvish. Now, of course, I'm going to change that in future incarnations of the symbol, but since that is what I currently had handy, I thought I would show that to you. So that's not a very complicated symbol. It's pretty easy to figure out. Right? What's this on the forehead? I always thought it made... I borrowed the skull graphic from somewhere else online that I don't even remember now, and I decided it made a good target symbol, and that the pointy bits there might be symbolic of their association with the hunter and the hunted, Hern. Alright, so, moving over here. A big symbol that I use in the Wyrd West Chronicles are the idea of silver spurs. Silver spurs are the mark of a gunslinger. Apprentice gunslingers wear bronze spurs. They don't quite warrant the silver yet. And there's a couple of different sources that I drew upon for this. One, of course, is all the Wild West movies that we all grew up with. You knew that the guy with the silver spurs was the good guy, right? Since the gunslingers are sort of a holy paladin type order in the world of the Wyrd West, this seemed a logical symbol of that association, right? It made sense. It's also something that we tend to associate with cowboys, so it has that element to it. But older than that, spurs were the symbol of a knight. A person who was knighted was given their spurs in a sort of an initiation ceremony, which took place after they made, especially if they were joining an order like, say, the Templars or the Hospitallers, they would make an oath and spend a night in meditation, a vigil. And then, provided that they had passed the spiritual test. Hi, AC. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, provided they had passed the test, they would be given their spurs, and one knight would each take off. There would be 2 knights, and each one of them would take off one of their spurs and give it to the knight who was being initiated into their group or order or whatever it is. So I'm specifically drawing upon both of those, or perhaps all 3 of those aspects, for my Wyrd West stories. So yeah, I guess that's about it for symbols in my books. And sorry about the terrible light again, and thanks for the like, AC. But I guess that's it for tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. I don't know what tomorrow's topic is going to be yet, because I didn't look that far ahead, but I promise it will be earlier in the day. Bye.